Okay, welcome everyone to our Monday night call. It is March and it is a big week for our business. There's so much that is going on as we wrap up this month. So many of you guys are going for goals, whether it's HLP 2000, qualifying your business, or helping other people get to those goals and working on express tracking to SC. So we just want to encourage you and congratulate you and just know that you could just like the shred, you can do anything for 10 days and you can do anything for the next 7 days as we work to close out the month and really work on those goals, because the beautiful thing about our business is the goals that we reach affect us for life. You never go backwards in our business. And so if you reach a goal and you reach an extra commission or an extra bonus level, you will continue to be able to receive that. And so that is super exciting. And so I just encourage you guys, don't give up. There's still so much time. I've seen incredible miracles happen in our business. And just remember to pray for your business, because we know that God is at work in all the big things and small things. And so just know that on our team prayer call this morning, we did pray for everyone that is working on goals this week. So, but tonight we are going to be talking about closing time. So I want to see you guys' faces. Show of hands. Have you ever had a hard time closing a sale or asking the hard question of are you ready to order? Anyone? Okay. Yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and I just was kind of praying about what I was supposed to talk about tonight on our team call. And I feel like God put that on my heart, because I consistently see that for new representatives on not only our team, but on, across the board, the hardest part of getting started and getting those first few goals of HLP and 2000 is asking for the sale. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight, because it is a really important part of our business, and it can really make or break your experience sharing the business and sharing the product. So the first thing I want to talk about is ABC, always be closing. When I worked in advertising and marketing, one of the guys in my office, every time he saw me, I don't know why, he would always be like, ABC, always be closing. And he was this chubby, mid-60s guy, and just super funny. And that's always stuck with me, that he, because I worked on business development. And so we were always trying to get new clients for our company. And so he would always say that. So ABC, always be closing. Okay, so how do you close orders every single week? Right? Does anybody want to close orders every single week and get new customers every week? Yes. Yay, Jody. I do too, right? So how do you make that happen? Well, in my 9 years of doing this business, what I've learned is that in order to get sales, to get orders on a consistent basis, you have to fill the pipeline. Okay. There have to be enough conversations going, and there has to be enough conversation starters going. And so, because it will always be the right time for someone if you're having enough conversations, right? We don't ever want to be pushy or, pressuring anyone to order this week or this month, but we have goals, and our goals have timelines. And so in order to avoid feeling pushy, or, pressuring anyone, we are all about having a lot of conversations. And so when I say have enough conversations going, that means that you have consistently planted seeds and started conversations with enough people so that you're in the middle of that conversation. And then when you're have enough conversation starters going, that means you are doing things either online or in real life that get people to ask you about Juice Plus. Okay, so you are initiating conversations. That's one piece of the puzzle. And then you're creating curiosity is the second piece of the puzzle. So you're getting people, whether it's through online posting, adding value online, having, going for a walk with a friend, wearing your Juice Plus hat, or bringing your shake when you go pick up your child from Mother's Day out, or something where, bringing protein bites to a play date, just bringing Juice Plus into your life online or in person is going to create the opportunities to start new conversations every single week. One of the things that people think about when you think about closing is objections, right? There's we're always going to get objections, and it doesn't feel good to have objections. You can make us be defensive because we're so passionate. And if you only knew what I knew, you would be all over it. And so we can get so wrapped up in how we feel, but just know objections are natural. They're normal. They're not always bad. It can be a vehicle for getting someone on board. I want to know, have you ever, either right now or previously in your business, seem to get the same objections over and over, where people are always saying it's too expensive, or people are always sharing, thinking that it's a pyramid scheme, or people are always, just saying the same types of things to you when you're sharing Juice Plus with them? Well, if that's happened to you, and I know it happened to me a lot in the beginning, I want you to know that sometimes the reason that happens is because there's some part of us that isn't confident about that objection. We need to check our own beliefs. If we don't think, we're not 100% sure Juice Plus is the best quality, then we might be a little shaky, or our confidence may waver when we're communicating it unknowing to us, or when it's expensive, then other people are naturally going to think that. If they're like, oh, what's the price? And you're like, well, it's, it's $70, but I promise it's good. And that's not very convincing. It doesn't make me want to go be like, here's my $70. But if you're like, oh my gosh, $70, that's my favorite part about this product. You get 30 fruits and vegetables for $2 a day. That is insane. I mean, I would pay double for it because I really believe that. I believe it's so worth more than what we pay for it. And so just checking that. And if you do find that, I want you to talk through it with your upline or with me, and we can help you work through ways to overcome that own objection, even if it's a really tiny. If you're like, I know Juice Plus is awesome, but there's this one little part of me that's a little unsure, we can work with you to break through that. Because I remember the minute that I clicked for me that Juice Plus was not expensive, that completely changed my confidence in the conversations I was having. So, and then I wanted to share 2 resources that we have. We have some great resources in our Team Plant Strong Facebook group about overcoming objections. There is one by Loretta Koth, and that is a document in the file section. If you just go to Team Plant Strong, I'll show you on my, my screen here. You can actually search any topic on our Facebook page. So I just went over here. So here's our Team Plant Strong. I went here in the search bar and I just typed in overcoming objections and they came up. So we have the get over your darn self. These are over, I typed them all out. So this is about the business. I don't think I have time to do this. I don't know enough people. Or this overcoming objections from Loretta Koth is an actual handout. It's a PDF that you guys can download. So those are great resources as you're building your business to connect with, to make sure that you are to make sure that you're prepared whenever you get objections, and it's going to help make you more confident. So one objection question that one answer when someone says, is it too expensive, that I heard recently is someone said, compared to what? They're like, hey, is Juice Plus expensive? And she was like, compared to what? And so that really can help you put it in perspective to someone. If you're like, no, I mean, I get a massage and it's $70 for 1 hour. You get Juice Plus for 30 days for $70. Or one personal training session is like $50, $70, $100, and that's for 30 minutes or an hour. Like Juice Plus is going to benefit your health for 30 days for that same amount. So there's so many ways when you ask good questions to kind of overcome those objections. So what is the number one reason people buy? Does anyone have a guess? You can put it in the chat. You can unmute yourself. What's the number one reason people buy?
They like you.
Close.
They want what you have.
Close.
They trust you?
What?
They trust you?
Close. Those are all factors. You guys are going to die when I give you the answer.
FOMO.
Oh. You want me to tell you? Okay, it's because someone asked. The number one reason people buy is because someone had the courage to ask them. And it, obviously they trust you and they want what you have, and all of that goes in there. But you asked, okay? I cannot tell you how many times people have known about Juice Plus and I come into contact with them and other people haven't asked them to be on their team, or other people haven't asked them to order the product. And so you know what I do? I ask. They become my teammate or they become my customer because I'm confident that this is something that they need, and I'm there to help them and support them making a good, helping them make a good decision for their health. So here's the thing. Asking is one thing, but you often need to ask in different ways and more than once. I always like to say I am pleasantly persistent when it comes to Juice Plus in our business. Like I know how to ask and ask and ask again without annoying people, pushing them away, or something else. Okay. So here's something that I recently kind of been thinking about. It's a principle that a lot of different sales organizations will implement, and it's the trial close, like trialing the close. So the close is just like that one-liner where you're trying to get someone to say yes. So this is really taking the temperature and seeing if they're ready to order. If the trial close goes well, you can take it right into like, okay, let's get you started, or are you ready to get going? But if it doesn't, if they're not taking the bait, then either there's going to be an objection that you can help clear up, or you need to provide more information. So a lot of times we're tempted to shut down whenever if we test out the waters and they're not like, yeah, it sounds awesome. They're kind of like, wah, wah. We're kind of like, oh, okay. We want to just shut down and be like, thanks, and just leave it. But really we need to provide more information or ask more questions and find out what their true objections are. So here's a trial close for you guys. Or here's two of them. Do you see how this could benefit your kids? So if they're like, yeah, absolutely, I want to get Susie on it and, Joey on it, like then you're going to be like, awesome, we have a children's health study. Do you want to do the capsules or the gummies? You just roll into the sale. But if they're like, well, kind of, or I do, but like if they have an objection, then you're going to roll into helping educate them and overcome that objection. Another one is, did I or can I, share more of the research with you? And if they are excited and they're like, yeah, I would love to know more about it, or they're like, not really interested. So you can it's more about trying to get yeses from people, because the more yeses you can get from someone in a conversation, the more likely they are to actually say yes when you ask the actual closing question. Often we take an objection as a no, we leave it too quickly. We actually want to hear objections so we can address them. Here are a couple more trial closes. Does it make sense that all those fruits and vegetables might help with your energy? Does it make sense that all these fruits and vegetables every single day might help with your energy? You know, obviously you've asked this person and they're struggling with fatigue or low energy. And so you're trying to bring it into a way that's like reminding them of what they're wanting and asking them if this makes sense as a solution. Do you see how this might help Susie with her tummy issues? You know, obviously you can insert anything there, but you're bringing it back to what their problem is and asking if they see how this could be a solution. If they say yes, you sign them up. If they say no or not sure, you answer their objections and you provide more information. You can also do a trial closing by offering free product. People love free. Free is a great, buzzword in advertising. And the cool thing is our company already provides free things, so we don't have to be like shelling it out of our own supply all the time. And so you could talk about it from the Children's Family Health Study perspective. Like my favorite research is our Family Health Study where, we provide 20 fruits and vegetables for children to take every single day for 4 years. And if their eyes light up and they get excited or their face changes and you're in person and you can see that, then you're going to be able to elaborate on that, on that free offer and show them how they can take advantage of it. You could say, do you have a child 4 and up who would qualify to get this free product? Like you're reminding them like, hey, it's free. Do you have someone who could get it for free? And just kind of bringing that back to them. You can talk about our amazing community where we provide free resources through our Healthy Living Revolution. You can talk about our Shred program where we provide free group health coaching and free cookbooks and free workouts. And, there's so many things where you can kind of pull people in and show them the value and get them excited and ask them like, would you like to have free new recipes every week? Would you like to have free workouts? And asking some just trial close to see if they're open and see if they're getting excited. If you're doing an event like a booth or a wellness presentation or a mason jar meal prep where you're sharing Juice Plus, you can offer something free in a different way. So you can say, anytime you have an event, it's always ideal if you get people to sign up at the event because they're really excited, they're invested, and they're going to go home, get really excited about getting their Juice Plus. And so if you say, if you order tonight, I'm going to send you home with a free week's supply so you can get started right away. And then you put like 5 or 7, kind of depends on where you live, how long it's going to take them to get their Juice Plus in. You would put the capsules into like a week's worth of capsules into a Ziploc baggie or into the little pill boxes that we have with Juice Plus. And you would have those already ready so that they're like there and people can see like, oh, like I get these for free if I order tonight, even though it's like not really that expensive for us to do that. It's, so worth it because they're ordering 4 months of Juice Plus that they get to, that you're going to get paid on. So that's a great way to get people to order at your events and close that sale. So the thing is, with all of these trial closes and all of your conversations, we don't want to leave people on the fence. Okay, indecision really is the worst place to be. We want to ask good questions. We want to answer objections. We want to provide relevant information for them. And the only way you can provide relevant information is if you ask good questions. You don't want to be shelling out information about the Children's Health Study if they have no kids. You want to be focused on the things that are important to them. And then you want to ask those trial closing questions. Start getting those yeses throughout your conversation. So here are a couple more closing trial questions that you can try. Does the concept of powder produce make sense? Does it make sense to you? Do you see how encapsulating fruits and veggies makes it easier to get more of what we should eat every single day? Do you see how being a healthy living partner makes sense and saves money? So for the Healthy Living Plan, I've been talking about it as like, hey, you can become a healthy living partner. And so that's where I got that verbiage. Do you see how being a healthy living partner makes sense and saves money? Does it make sense to you to get money back on your family's orders? Would you be open to learning ... how to fit this in your budget? Would you be open to learning how to fit this in your budget? So you can kind of put anything at the end there. The goal is really to get people off the fence. We want to get them to a yes or a no. We don't want them in limbo land. And we don't want to convince anyone, guys. Our goal is not to convince. Our goal is to educate them. We want to help them convince themselves. If that makes sense. We don't want to be pressuring or convincing someone to do something that they don't want to do. We want to overcome their hurdles and their obstacles so that they're like, yes, actually this does make sense. And we're providing the fuel to help them change that mindset so they actually do agree. Because as we all know, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So even if you convince someone, I've done this, I've twisted arms, I've gotten people to order. My dad was a great example. When I was working on my 2000 plus, I said, I needed like 1 or 2 orders, and I was like, Dad, will you please just order, because obviously I already wanted him to be on it. And so he did order, but then he canceled after his first order, and his product sat on his shelf for 4 years. He never used it. It just collected dust. And he did end up using it 4 years later when it was expired. But, so he didn't become a raving fan or an avid customer because he wasn't convinced. He just did it for me. And so you really want to help people overcome those hurdles so that they want to do it for themselves. And then I want to end with final closing questions, okay? These are so important. And I remember, I don't know if it was Kurt Beavers or someone in the beginning when I first started, I was nervous to ask for the sale. I was nervous to just be like, hey, let's do this. You want to get started? And I really had to practice saying it out loud. I literally would say it out loud. I would say it with a smile on my face. I would say it in the mirror. Now we have Voxer, so you can leave yourself notes on Voxer where you can record yourself and listen to yourself saying it with a happy look on your face and a smile, but saying it out loud daily until it feels good. Okay. And it sounds so corny and cheesy. And I admit I love cheesy stuff, but it really does work. So I just encourage you guys to take some of these options that I have written down. I'm going to share with you guys and say them out loud until they become really natural to you. Because if they're natural and your brain is wired to go there, then when you're having coffee with someone, or you're at a play date, or you're at a meeting or a party, a Juice Plus event, you can naturally say it and it'll just sound so good and they're going to be so on board, and it's going to work out a lot easier versus stumbling over your words and being like, do you want to try it? I don't know. You want to be, confident and be like, yeah, let's get you started, girl. So here are some final closing questions for you guys. Number 1, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? Number 2, is now a good time to place your order? Number 3, I'm placing a batch of orders today. Would you like me to do yours too? I'm placing a batch of orders today. Would you like me to do yours too? Number 4, would you like to place your order on the website or over the phone? Would you like to place your order over the website or over the phone? Number 5, what else do you need to know in order to get started? What else do you need to know in order to get started? Number 6, is there any more information I can provide to help you make a decision? Is there any more information I can provide to help you make a decision? And number 7, do you have any other questions, or are you ready to get started? Do you have any other questions, or are you ready to get started? So it really is that easy. I've said these like a billion times, so it's like they're like locked and loaded into my brain, so I could just like fire them off whenever the opportunity arises. But I would say the number one thing that new people struggle with is asking for the sale. And so that's why I was really passionate about sharing this information tonight and teaching you guys methods to do that. And I really do want you guys practicing this and reciting these things and coming up with your own. If there's another version, these are just 7 that I use and came up with, but if there's another version that feels better to you, it just has to be getting to a yes or a no about them ordering. I mean, that is the goal. We want to get them to a yes or a no. So that is what I have for you guys. I want to take a minute to see if you guys have any questions. Since we ended early, you guys can put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. I'd love to answer any questions you might have. Will those be available in a doc or something? Yeah, I will do that tomorrow. Yes, I'll either do it tomorrow, or I'll take a picture of my notes and provide them on our Team Plant Strong. You want all of the trial closing questions and the actual closing questions? Okay, cool. I can do that.
I can't find the chat for some reason, but my question is about your hat.
Yes.
Where do I purchase this hat?
Well, I got this at conference. So
Oh.
in Sacramento, you can get one. Otherwise, juicepluspromotions.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Are you guys going to go practice your closing statements? I mean, it's like any other thing. You can't be like, I'm so good at soccer, but I never practice, you know, or I'm such a good singer, Megan, but I never practice, right? Like, you're not going to be like, get up at church and be like singing all the songs and like never, ever practice them, right? So you got to practice. Like anything that you want to be good at, you guys have to practice. And so it seems silly or cheesy or corny or whatever, but it works. And yeah, that's all I'd say about that. Any other questions?
Well, I would just kind of say too, to just kind of like echo what you're saying. Not only does it build like just your confidence in like being able to close well, but it like if you had doubts, just repeating those sentences, those things, it will help build your own confidence because it leaves less room for doubt in your own mind.
Absolutely. It's just like affirmations, you know, it's like the thoughts you think are so powerful. And if you think positive thoughts about, you know, getting people on the product and getting people started and believing that they're going to see it as a great thing for themselves, and just your delivery in that is going to change whenever you believe it yourself. All right, going once. Any more questions? Going twice. Okay, well, thanks everyone for being on, and I hope this helped you guys, and I'm so excited to see us all finish our month strong and go out there and change some lives. So thanks everyone. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you guys.